Hello and welcome to this episode of the Ranting Atheist podcast. Today on Story of an Atheist, we'll be listening to the deconversion story of a Nigerian atheist, and our story is quite peculiar in comparison to all the previous ones we've listened to. She got exposed to two religions, and one is Abrahamic and the other is traditional. Ifa. That was a surprise, and listening to her story, I'm able to reconfirm that notion that religion is very harmful, whether foreign or local. Religion is harmful. Superstitious thinking is harmful, because these Ifa people, I'm sure you have gotten exposed to Ifa people. A lot of them, literate, not the illiterate ones now. They are trying to, make it look all cool and trying to show that there's logic and science. But the problem is there's still this superstitious thinking to it, and this causes you to behave irrationally, because they will condemn Islam and Christianity along with the atheists, But when the atheist turns back to ask them, why do you believe what you believe? And you begin to see them display all the defense mechanisms that Christians and Muslims also display. It's so annoying and so pathetic. Like, it's when I meet such people, I always tell them, like, Christianity is European or colonial bullshit. Islam is Arabic bullshit. Ifa is our local bullshit. It is all bullshit. You are all making unproven claims. While God created, or Yahweh created Adam and Eve and put them in a garden, these motherfuckers believe Obatala was sent by Olodumare with a horse, with a tortoise, and a god of sand, with sand to then Cochrane spread around the earth. You see how ridiculous that story sounds. Just like Yahweh created two people to fuck and produce 7 billion people today. So, local bullshit, foreign bullshit, it is all bullshit. So, if you are here to subscribe up, Apple, Spotify, Google, and other places podcasts are available. And if you'd like to share your story, please reach out via DM, social media, email, however you can. We'll work out a day that is comfortable for both of us for you to share your story to the extent of which you are comfortable. We'd really love to hear from you, especially recent deconverts, if there's such a word, those that deconverted in 2022. So let's go and listen to the deconversion story of Lola. Hello Lola, and you are welcome to Story of an Atheist. How are you doing now?
Hi, I'm doing fine, thank you. How about you?
Well, we are surviving Bubu's Nigeria. And seeing what will happen eventually.
Yeah.
The political madness is at the peak now. Everything will end by
crazy.
Next month.
And the election is going to be even crazier.
Yeah, so Lola, you're welcome. The speaker right now knows it's Lola that is talking. So what else would you like us to know about you? Your location, if you're comfortable with that, your age,
okay.
Or you want to do Gen Z millennial. What do you do for a living?
Okay,
if you care to
I'm
share
in
or
Lagos. Not. Okay.
Yeah, so give it to us.
I'm in Lagos.
Okay.
I am currently living in Lagos. I'm 23.
Nice.
I'm still in school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm still in school. 300 level to be exact.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you mind sharing the school, or that's too much information?
Yeah. I'm studying philosophy.
Philosophy, okay.
Yeah, I mean Unilag.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in respect to this whole religion spectrum, what do you identify as? Is it an atheist, agnostic, or you don't do labels?
I am an atheist.
Atheist?
Yeah.
pure atheist? Because some people always like to
pure.
define it a little, like to tweak.
Yeah, I am pure.
And for me, every atheist, if they're honest, there's a speck of agnosticism to it, because you can't be 100% sure about everything. You're not just accepting claims without evidence.
Yeah, but for me, I came to accept it a long time ago. Before, I denied it a lot. I denied it a whole lot. Like, I tried to rationalize and explain it away that, that was not it. But I accepted it a long time ago, so I am 100% sure about it.
Nice. So, as an atheist, what would you, if someone ask you now, what is atheism? How do you define it?
I would say it's the belief. It's the non-belief, rather, in God, in anything spiritual, in anything celestial, in anything Greek, any kind of denomination anyone would like to put it in. It's the non-belief of any of that.
Okay, all right. That makes sense. Yeah, it really makes sense. Non-belief. No, some people want to do some extra steps. Have you ever gotten this? When Christians will say, they want to do this false equivalent, in the sense that just as their own Christianity, or let's use Christian as an example. Christianity is a religion. They believe in God, in Jesus Christ, and all that. You're an atheist. It's a religion. You believe that God does not exist.
I've gotten that equivalence a lot, and it pisses me off, because you can't classify something as a religion, because I'm not worshiping anything. I'm not praying to anything. I'm not believing in anything. My whole life is not part of that thing. It's not part of any being or any otherworldly thing that other people might believe in. So I'm always confused how a lot of people like putting it under religion. It doesn't make sense to me.
I feel I always see it as a defense mechanism, because if they can say, you're saying my own is bad, your own too is bad.
Yeah, I don't think it's a defense mechanism for them. They're just trying to one-up you. Like, they feel they have more of an understanding of you, because they are the ones who believe and you are the one who doesn't believe. So of course they would feel like they know more.
That's true. That could be another reason. It all depends on the individual though. So that's true. Yeah, so let's explore. What was your religious background like? Give us the full lowdown.
So it's very strange, like really strange actually. So my dad classifies himself as a Muslim when he wants to, and sometimes he classifies himself under spirituality, like Ifa, those kind of things. So, and my mom is Christian on and off. Christian today, Muslim tomorrow, because we do Ilea. So
they are one shop meet now. It's another one.
So it is like that. That's my own family background. But growing up, my father leaned more into spirituality, so I didn't have that full Christian background. I went to churches, but that was only because he wasn't around. Like, he worked abroad. It was mostly abroad. Okay. So while we were home, it was Christianity we were, practicing, and most of our relatives too, they were all Christians. Only like distant relatives were like Muslims. So that's basically what my background is like. But whenever I was home, we would all lean into that spirituality. Each one of us would lean into that spirituality whenever I was home. So
what?
Yeah.
Like now, okay, with church, you had to follow your mom, right? It was your mom that was taking you, or you went of your own.
Yeah. Sometimes I would follow my mom. Sometimes it would be like neighbors. I would follow neighbors to church because they had a daughter too, so we would just follow her to church. That was mostly how it was like. That's why I said my mom could be Christian today, not Christian tomorrow, because she didn't really go to church. So it mostly consisted of us following our neighbors to church.
Oh, okay. So now I can now see the strange part of it. So I would like to understand your experience. Like, what exactly did you go through when your father is saying everybody should focus on Ifa? What were the things, the practices, the rituals, or whatever word I'm not using?
Yeah, this is the strange part, where it goes into the strange part. So my father believes that I'm a witch.
Whoa.
Yeah. So he said he was told that I'm a witch, I have what they call Egbe, by those Ifa people that he consulted with. So from birth, I was told that I wasn't really told, but he fully believed, and my mom too believes. So basically, he said when I was young, I would be speaking to things that weren't there. I would be playing with things that weren't there. That's in his own words.
Wow.
So from that, he concluded that, I was speaking to my people. So most of what
you just shared with me is shocking, but it also reinforces the harm of religion. Even these are our local religion, because a lot of them are sprouting out. A lot of educated people, they're always trying to, when we are bashing Christianity, they join atheists to bash Christianity. But once the atheists turns and ask them about their own claims, you begin to see the familiarity of the defense mechanisms that Christians and Muslims do. Look at what's your own child. Because we hear this a lot from Christians. Say your mother is a witch, or your daughter is a witch.
Exactly.
The same pattern.
Exactly. The same pattern. So that was what it was like for me. I didn't realize that they had these thoughts about me. I didn't realize that that's what they thought about me. Not until I entered when I was like 18. It was my brother that now told me that, that thinks you're a witch. And I was like, huh?
So since you were when like at what age was he first told that you were a witch?
I think it had been a while since he was told, but I think my dad told him not to let me know. I think he didn't really put much thought into it, because he thought maybe it was just one of my father's normal, spiritualist, talks, until we started to go to places. I was taken to places, to give me protection. So my Egbe people, my sisters don't take me away. Yeah. So it wasn't until then that he realized that, this man is actually serious about it. When I went to those places for the first 2 times, I thought it was just for the whole family. Until my brother was not like, it's for you. And then I was singled out. When I went there, I was singled out. The most was done to me. Not to my brother, not to my mom. It was done to me. My dad wasn't even around. He just instructed us to go to some place, and we had to go there. It was I hated it. I hated it. I hated the whole process.
Are you comfortable in giving a little detail of what exactly was done, or should we just?
Okay. So what can I share? So I don't remember much of it. Maybe because it's not something I'd like to have in my memory. But
Yeah.
one of the things that happened was so they'd use alcohol to like, I don't know if it's to bless. I don't know how to explain it, but alcohol.
Divination or something.
Yeah. So they drank it and they spat on me. Like,
Wow.
yes. It's not something I like remembering because it was very not nice. The whole thing was not nice. I did not like it. I did not like it. And the reasoning behind it made me even more pissed. Like, apart from being the witch stuff, so at that point, I found out that like I had migraines. Like I started suffering from migraines. So instead of my parents to be like, oh, you should see what this is. Back then I didn't even know it was migraines. I just knew I had headaches that lasted longer than usual. So instead of my parents to be like, oh, let's get to the bottom of this, it was more, oh, people are trying to take her away.
Wow.
That was their conclusion without even talking to me about it, and I was the one going through pain. It took years before I was even able to get medicine, before I was even able to, start managing it. I had to go through years of constant migraines and then being like, oh, it's spiritual. So that was one of the major factors that, pushed me towards just that it wasn't really them being like spiritual. It was more them disregarding me, not wanting my opinion, not even seeing me as someone that would want to speak for herself. Because I did tell them multiple times that I would like to go to a hospital, I would like to see a neurologist, this, that, but I wasn't taken seriously until years later. And even after then, even till now, I'm still not taken seriously by them. They don't regard my opinion as something. So that's what pushed me more to it, because I see a lot of disregard when it comes to religion. A lot, especially in this country.
Yeah.
It's just so blatant. And then people just feign ignorance when you try and confront them or bring it up. So that's it.
And I don't know if I want to pinpoint it on the cultural misogyny, or was your brother now? Do they take him seriously?
Yeah.
Compared to you?
It's a bit like, how do I put it? It wasn't, his own disregard wasn't that far off from mine, but they still, they still took what he said in regards to them, because most of the time, if they don't listen to him, he will just do what he wants, and they will be like, oh, why'd you do that? But they will drop it. But if I did what I want, I wouldn't get the same treatment. I would literally be talked down on. My dad has talked down on me. My mom has talked down on me. So I see that a lot with me, but not with my brother. They can't talk down on my brother. They could, like, talking to me, if they are talking to me about my brother and they talk down on him, they could, the next hour, that same topic they were talking to me about, they will be talking to him, and they won't say the things they said about him to me. They won't say it to him. They would say different things. They would talk to him in a calmer tone, like a more understanding tone. I noticed this. I noticed this like some years back when I told my brother that. Did you realize that the way they talk to me and they talk to you is different? It was like he didn't see it until like I think I had a recording or something, and he noticed it. He noticed it. He first noticed it with my mom, then he noticed it with my dad, and he was like, "Yeah, this is fucked up." So I've noticed that.
It's really fucked up. Quite really messed up. Sorry you had to go through that, boss.
Thank you.
It's called you a witch for you to now we go through all the ups and downs to now start talking down. It's insane. This country it's a pandemic.
Yeah, it is.
Now as you're 18, by the time you're 18, had they stopped taking you up and down?
Yeah, but that was
when
only.
Did they stop taking you up and down? That's from your memory.
Okay, from my memory, it was when I was 18 that they did stop.
Okay.
Yeah, it was when I was 18 that they did stop. It wasn't like they stopped because they couldn't. It was because my dad wasn't around. He wanted to be the one to personally take me, like just me. So he's usually not around. Like he'd be absent for years. So it's not like something that is months. For a year, 2 years, it was like the norm for us.
Okay.
So.
Okay. So it was just you were just fortunate for that to stop.
I was at that point. Even I was ready to just be like, nah, I'm not going to keep following you guys to these places. You can't just keep taking me to these places. So, but it stopped. That was only like just stopped, just like going. So even after that, they would bring things and they would be like, "Oh, so and so person told me that you have to do this. You have to bathe at this time. You have to use this to bathe. You have to clinical, you know." So I did it. But then I was like, nah, I'm not going to do this anymore. I don't know why I keep entertaining them if they don't even show an ounce of understanding for me.
Yeah.
Why should I keep entertaining their own beliefs? So I just stopped. Anything they would bring and they would be like, "Oh, drink this or do this." I'll be like, nah. It's just tiring and irritating at this point. So at a point I just stopped it altogether. Like I wasn't going to entertain it anymore.
Wow. That's just, and around this 18, that was like post-secondary school, have you?
Yeah.
In between waiting for university or...
Yeah, between waiting for university.
So after that, where was your headspace? How were you dealing with the experience? Was there any trauma or you kind of...
There was actually. It's that trauma of just, I feel like they weren't seeing me as a human being. They were only seeing me as a witch. To them, it's not like they thought or according to what they were told. It's not like I was one evil witch. I was just a witch. But the fact that I wasn't characterized as my own individual, right from when I was young.
Yeah.
It was very disappointing and it was traumatic for me because it made me feel like you know, there was, it made me remember, not really remember, but like, when something happens, when you realize something and everything just clicks in your head,
Yeah.
like you notice that,
That's why that happened.
yeah,
No
exactly,
wonder.
exactly. So it just really puts me off. I'm not close to my dad. I'm not close to my mom. I don't like when people call me Omo mommy or Omo daddy or daddy's girl or mommy's. I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah,
I hate it.
understandable.
Yeah, I don't feel they're my parents, yeah. I love them, yeah, but there's this disconnect that is there.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for any connection. I like as that disconnect is there. I want that disconnect to be there because they could not pull their own heads out of their asses to just at least just see that you have a daughter, you have a child. You cannot be letting people put these ideas in your head that, oh, she's a witch, or a normal child behaviors is her talking to her people, things like that. And growing up is just, especially from my mom, because I didn't even see my dad that much. Even as a child, I didn't see him that much. So that distance between me and him was already there. And I didn't have a problem with it because I was mostly raised by my grandparents to a certain point. But most of my disappointment came from my mom because she at some point, for as long as I can remember, she would berate me. And there was one thing she would say when she would berate me. She said a lot of different hurtful things, but there was one thing she would say. She would say witch. And, before, I didn't understand why she would say that. But like after I realized why she said that. So there was an instance, there was this very, very not traumatic, but it made me come to this realization that I really needed to stop following what my parents said. So there was this one of my mom's friend. She has a shop, so she sells drinks in that shop. So my mom and I regularly go there because she goes to talk with her and stuff. I think I was around 14, 15 at this point. It was at that point where I was using glasses because it was at the point where the headaches were like a common thing now, but we didn't know what was causing it. But I used glasses because I had another thing going on with my eyes.
Okay.
So we were there one day, and this man, he basically comes inside. He says, "Is he woli?" Do you know what a woli is?
Prophet.
Yeah. So he came inside and he said he's a woli, and he called my mom to a corner and he was like, he told her a witch. He said, "Your daughter is a witch." And he was like, I've dealt with cases like this before. You just have to bring to my place or to my church, and I would cast it away. Yeah. So my mom, I think either I overheard them or my mom came and told me. But she sat down and she was like, yeah. So I think at that point I don't know if she was skeptical or not, but he was trying to sell the idea that, oh, he's this prophet with powers, he can cast away witches, things like that. So he gave her his phone to see pictures of him in his prophet robe or whatever they call it.
Oh, is it a white garment?
Yeah, it's a white garment. So showing him doing his miracles. So she scrolled and she saw like pictures of him doing his stuff, prayers and all that stuff. And then he went out for a bit. So my mom, being my mom, she continued scrolling on his phone. And it didn't even take long. We saw porn.
Ugh.
We saw pictures of naked women. We saw porn videos.
Shameless fuck.
You very shameless fuck. And I'm like, and I realized then that it was obvious he was trying to take advantage. Yeah, extort, also take advantage. Because why would you go to a woman with a daughter? She's young. She's obviously, because it was obvious that I was very young, and be like, oh, she's a witch, bring her to this place. I would, cast the idea. It sounded very predatory to me.
Yeah.
When I was just like, that is so fucked up. And I kept thinking that even if we didn't find like porn or all of those things on his phone, would my mom have actually believed, and would she have taken me there? Would she have just took me there and say, oh, okay, cast out whatever spirit? Because from when I was a child, she too has been fed. I don't say fed, because she herself, she said she's had a personal experience with me as a baby that proved to her that I was a witch. So she already had that idea in her mind. So what would have stopped her if it wasn't for the porn? What would have stopped her from taking me there? Because nothing stopped.
Is this Wooly random?
Either
Is it random Wooly or a Wooly she knows?
Random. We don't know. We didn't know him from anywhere. Very, very random. So, for a lot of people, my situation was different because we found porn in his phone. But for a lot of people, you even see it in Nollywood movies where a random prophet or a random pastor or a random Afa or a random priest or a random Ifa priest would just walk up to someone and be like, oh, I see this in your life. I see that in your life. If you don't do this, this will happen, that will happen. If you don't follow me to this place, do you get it?
Yeah.
So people are already fed that scenario.
Are they primed to do
yes,
such things?
Exactly. They already fed that scenario that, oh, if that happens, you should listen to that person. You should do whatever that person said. So it's the reality of a lot of people. And I'm sure there have been situations where people have, taken their children or taken their daughters or even themselves gone to meet those random people that just stopped you on the road, just came to talk to you and say this, and that, and you instantly believe them. So for me, that was another pointer to just know that, I wasn't believing any of that bullshit. Not religiously, not spiritually. I did not believe any of that.
Yeah, I can imagine it's more than enough to say fuck it up, because such experience from childhood to adulthood of being called a witch constantly back to back for no just cause, it's insane. And even starting from Ifa, they now brought a random Woli, so from Christianity. But besides this Woli, did you experience any other kind of religious exposure?
So when I finally found out that it was migraines I had a lot of people trying to pray away the migraines. They were telling me, oh, I should come for deliverance. Even my uncle is a pastor. He tried to pray with the migraines for me. It was irritating. It was irritating. I can't even lie. I was pissed because, I wasn't looking for pity. I wasn't looking for people to sympathize with me. All I asked for was to be taken seriously. That's all I asked for. Like, someone to just be like, oh, I don't understand what you're going through, but I hope you found a way to manage it. I hope your parents are taking it seriously. But that's not what I got. What I got was, reject it, forbid it. Migraine is not your portion. Migraine is not your portion. Reject it. Just stop, speaking in tongues and all that bullshit. Putting anointing oil on my head, saying I mustn't call it my migraines. I mustn't call it migraines. That it to be, And then I had someone tell me a story. Like, they were telling me to pray, that if I pray enough to just go. And they gave an example of this their dad being sick or something, and he had a tumor, and then one day it just went because he prayed. And I'm like, that is not my reality. My reality is very different. I'm not trying to look for prayers. I'm trying to look for ways to manage it. I'm trying to put myself in an environment where I won't see things or I won't experience things that would trigger it. But here you're telling me, oh, if you just pray, like it's that easy to just pray, and migraines that I've suffered for like 10 plus years is to just suddenly just go. Like, I hated it so much. At some point I just stopped talking about it. When people would ask, oh, what about your migraines? I'll be like, yeah, it's still there. And they'd be like, oh, God will do this, God will do that. And I'm like, oh, I'm so over it. At this point, I'm used to it. It's become part of my daily life. Yeah, even till this day. So it just baffles me, because you cannot go and be telling a person who is disabled to be praying so that he can walk. You can see with your eyes that the person is physically disabled. This isn't something that prayers will fix. And you keep telling them, giving them that your own idea of encouragement. What would it take to just, I don't know, talk to them? Just be like, at least talk to them like a human being. You don't even have to pity them, because they didn't ask for your pity. I didn't ask anybody for pity. I didn't ask anybody for anything. I literally just told them, oh, I have migraines. Oh, this is what I go through. So as a form of education, because when I found out I had migraines, I didn't know a lot of things about it. And then when I would tell people about it, they would assume that it's just a headache. But then I would have to explain that, oh, it's more than that. It's not even that. It's more than that. So they would think that, oh, they still have that mentality that, oh, it's just a headache. It's just like a headache. So if you just pray to just go. So it just pisses me off. Yeah.
They will have to take Panadol.
Exactly.
Or go and sleep.
Exactly.
Wow. It's crazy how religion of all shapes and sizes make people do crazy things. That's
very, very crazy things.
Billions of people, by the billions, they are doing and believing things that only an insane person will do or believe. It has been normalized.
Yeah, it's so normalized.
So, now that with all your experiences with it's I said that it's understandable why you will not take it seriously. So when did you now start kind of questioning and forming your whole let's say epistemology on this whole, like the path now, the pathway to you finally calling yourself an atheist? Like how did that road now start for me? We have seen where it started from. We have entered the ability. So towards the end, how did we get there?
Okay, so as a child, I never really fully believed or understood like the whole Christianity thing, because I was raised more on Christianity. There's this picture form of the Bible that are given to children to read.
Is it the one with the yellow cover?
Yeah, the one with the yellow cover, where there will be like picture stories of the story of Jesus, the story of Moses. Yeah. So, growing up, my mom encouraged us to she wanted us to be knowledgeable in a lot of things. So we had DSTV. We got DSTV at some point, and we would watch Nigel Wild. We would watch a lot of things. I watched a lot of things on DSTV, and then I would read the stories of Noah's Ark, him putting 2 of every single animal, and I'll be like, that's not possible. And I would go and ask someone, this is not possible. How is it possible? And the answer would be, don't question God. Don't question the Bible. That was the answer to a lot of the things I asked. So it just baffled me. I always wondered why they were so quick to anger. They were so quick to snap. They were so quick to tell me, oh, don't question. Just for a simple thing that I asked for. So watching all those things on TV, it really opened my mind. Like little by little, it opened my mind. So I always felt that I was odd. Initially, I always felt that I was odd, but later on, I realized that people just called me odd because I liked normal things. So, for example, now, growing up, I always loved cats. But people, they did not like cats. It's in Nigeria. If they see a cat, they will kill a cat.
Yeah, so Nigerians don't like cats. Cats are suffering in this country
so much. It really pains me. So I was very vocal about my love for cats. Like, I would be like, I love cats. They're so cute. And they're like, Lola is so weird. You're so weird, Lola. Why are you so odd? Why are you so weird? Why do you like cats? What's there? You're like, it's only witches that like cats. Things like that. Yeah.
Cats,
I love cats. I loved owls. People would see owls flying and they would start shouting and running away. And I would stand and just be so fascinated about how beautiful they looked. And they were like, Lola is odd. She's not running away. Why aren't you running away? Kill the bird. People would try to stone the bird so it falls down and they can kill it. The same with crows. There's this type of crow in Nigeria. It's not like completely black.
White and
it's
black.
Bigger than, it's white and black.
Yeah.
I love that.
Noisy.
Yeah. So I love that too. And I would always tell people, like, why do you hate these animals except for, oh, it's a witch. It's a witch that turned into a bird. And they would tell stories that they heard from people or from someone's father or from someone's grandfather that, oh, this person turned into a witch. So anytime you see an owl, anytime you see a cat, you must kill it. And but these are just animals. So from there, people called me odd. And me too, I believed I was odd. But as I grew older, I realized that these are just normal things. And I wondered why people called me odd. I always wonder why people called me odd. So growing up, at a very, very, very early age, I realized that I did not believe a single thing that was in the Bible. I didn't. So at that point, I thought I only believed in God. So I thought I was just agnostic. So from there, I realized that from there I realized that I was just trying to explain away. How do I put it? I was just trying to explain away what I already knew deep down. So back then, I didn't know what atheism was. I didn't know what agnosticism was.
Okay.
I only thought that I didn't believe in the Bible, and I expressed that I didn't believe in the Bible. But the response I got was terrible. I got called retarded. Someone was wishing that I would die, so I would go to. It was bad. It was bad. So when I got that response, I was like, why are people responding this way? All I said was, I don't believe in the Bible. I didn't say I didn't believe in God. So from there, I was like, do I actually believe or do I not? And digging deeper, like I did my research because when I was curious about something, I liked doing research. I didn't like when people would tell me, oh, stay away from that cat. That cat is a witch. Oh, don't touch that owl. That owl is. Oh, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. Because I'm like, you don't have the facts.
Yeah.
I said, where is their own evidences? This person said or that person said. Or, exactly. Exactly. I hated it so much. Because I have seen, even though I have not been outside of Nigeria, I have seen on TV that there are things much more than just this little idea, this little mentality that you people have decided to adopt, that they have decided to adopt. I knew there was more to that. So at any opportunity I got, I would just research and read up on things. So at that point I just Googled, what does it mean to not believe in the things written in the Bible? And then I got like being agnostic, being an atheist, different things, and I just read up on it. I read up on agnosticism and was like, that might be that. And then I read up on atheism and it just clicked in my head. But yeah, that was it. So for let's say for about a year, I was denying it. But when I was like 16,
Oh,
I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, this is it. Like this is really it. And when I accepted it, that this is really it, I felt free from a lot of burden of, oh, you are odd because you like this, because you like that. You are odd because you don't believe in this, because you don't believe in that. I was free from a lot of it. And I realized that, oh yeah, I'm actually not the odd one. I just think differently. But
just you.
Sorry?
I say you're just yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just me. I realized that a lot of people have this herd mentality in Nigeria. A lot of people think one and the same. If a person believes one cat is a witch, you can expect that 200 other people believe a cat is a witch. So there's this herd mentality going.
It has been planted. I said that we've been primed. All these Nollywood movies too, they also display cats as so
exactly. So at that point, I realized that I was just myself. I realized that I had my own individuality, and it made me so happy because I didn't feel like I was an odd person anymore. I was able to accept my own individuality. So at that point, I only told one person, and he was like, he would pray for me.
Oh, fuck.
Do you know the funny thing is now he is irreligious too. He's not like an atheist, but he's irreligious. Yeah. I said the same thing.
You have
I said the same thing. I said, can you see yourself? I was saying it that time and you were saying you would pray for me, but now can you see yourself? So at that point it was just very freeing for me. And then once I knew that that is what I was, once I knew that it was part of my individuality, I was able to realize and accept a lot of things about myself.
Yeah.
Like, so it still is very freeing for me. So that is it.
How old were you at that point of accepting being an atheist?
I was 17.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I am always blown away. Like, what was I doing at 17? Lako Sakandara Sakunda.
Wow, you're very experienced.
Wow, it's always a beauty to hear when people are able to see the bullshit very early. Like,
yeah,
it's a thing of hope that the younger generation they are seeing it, because I usually see some TikTok where they will kind of probe the Bible, say, okay, they'll play all those funny songs, like all those funny songs. They just put the question there. God created the sun, the moon, or so and so after the fourth day. But where the lights come from? That's exactly. I'm like, okay, you guys are seeing it. Gen Z is seeing it, but it's just the balls to fully question it directly that is left. So what they need is to hear more voices of people that have gone through it.
Yeah, that's usually the hardest part, because in a country like here now, people can kill you for any reason.
I tell you.
They just have to deem you as below them, or they have to deem you as an object, and they will just do whatever they want. So it's very hard, and I don't blame anybody for just being in their own corner in this country, because it's really not easy. It's not something where, you will just have people who will disagree with you. It's something where you can literally be attacked for it.
Yeah.
Someone can make up a lie about you, and they will be like, oh, isn't this person this and that? So it must be true that this person did that, and they will just attack you.
That's true. Mob mentality, they will just, ole. Before you know
exactly.
They won't even, in your first class, they said they could find for it to burn you.
Exactly.
It's insane.
That's why there's this toxic, very toxic herd mentality in Nigeria. And then when you now experience, not even when you experience, when you are different, they term you as the weird one, they term you as the odd one. That you are, maybe you are like, exactly.
And they feel threatened. For some reason, it feels like a threat to them.
Exactly. What confuses me is, why are they always so quick to anger? Like, it just, in a split moment, they could be smiling with you, and if you just mention something that doesn't align with their own beliefs, it's just anger immediately. And they don't see the flaw, the very, very huge flaw in that. They don't see that.
It's hard to see. They don't see that at all. Deep in it, it's hard to see it.
That's true.
It's hard to see it when you're deep inside. It's the same. That's the same thing when the Ifa people will drag Christians with the atheists, and when the atheists now ask the Ifa people question, the same question they're asking Christians, like, why do you believe what you believe? And we start seeing the same pattern, the same reaction, the same.
Yeah.
And all we hear is, don't worry now, we'll show you. Because it's always then say. The Bible and Quran are a book of then say. The Ifa people, what they have is then say. So it's a third party game. It's always somebody said. It's pathetic. And or as well all of them. But even when I talk with Ifa people, I was like, you and I agree that Islam is the Arabian bullshit, Christianity is the colonial bullshit. Ifa is local bullshit. I hope you're aware. They go flare up. Wahala good day. It's our own bullshit. So don't think you are special. Say the spiritual. The Igbo man that is doing ordinala is it the same thing with yours? You can see that all your myths. When they're talking about creation, where Olodumare sent who did they send it? Obatala be able to spread with a tortoise with sand. I'm like, what the fuck? This sounds just as fantastic as the Bible's creation story.
Exactly.
So it's always, and if you ask more questions like, okay, the land created, is it the same? Is it the one that created the Jews that spread? Is it the same sand that spread towards the Jews side that brought the Bible to us? Then you start seeing everything fall apart. Yeah. So Lola, it's been an amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for having the courage to share this with us.
I was hesitant at first, but I decided this year that I was going to try and be more outspoken with not only with my actions but with my words. So I was very happy that this opportunity came by. Fantastic.
Thank you for sharing. Do you want to be found online or you just want to do your day?
Yeah, I just want to do my day.
Nothing do you.
Thank you.
Yes, it's been great having you here. Thank you for coming.
It's been great having you too. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to this episode. Please subscribe up Apple, Spotify, Google, YouTube, and many other places that podcasts are available. Then if you want to share your story, please reach out. Let's work out a day that's convenient and work it out on which platform and how we'll have this conversation. So have a great week and I will catch you on the next one.